just in case you've been playing solo queue, I'm sure you've seen a lot of Worlds hype, the song, and maybe as long as you weren't staring at a gray screen because this shitty release happened.
So I have not seen her at all.
What?
In Korea.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen her. She's permanently banned.
Yeah, because
Did you see Bang's clip on Reddit?
No.
Okay, we're
I
playing
got
this
it.
on
I
Facecheck.
got it. I got it.
You got it?
Okay.
Fucking put that shit on.
Because
We
it
need
was.
to see that.
He didn't even. Oh my god, dude! It was so. I'm just.
All right, let me
eating
see
another
this.
Chipotle burrito. Okay, it's a little blurry, but.
Oh, it's on Korea. Okay.
Stand by.
Yeah, let me take a little gander here. Okay.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh!
이거지. Wait. Can you play that again?
Yeah, we can do it again. Here we go.
I just want to confirm the cumulative IQ of the three opponents. I was gonna.
I mean, the blue card was bad, but like.
Oh yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, that was really good. Okay, great. Really cool. Really cool. Great. Okay, so yeah, obviously the champion. I mean, that's obviously that's not balanced. Like, what the fuck is that? That's obviously not balanced.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just like so weird to me. Like, just when I see all these clips, like, I just don't understand when the players have no lifesteal, like, where does all the lifesteal come from? What, you just have Legend Bloodline and then you just lifesteal like permanently? Like, doesn't that seem a little bit OP to anyone else? I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, I think that like, you know, just the champion is obviously absurdly broken. What concerns me more is like Riot's approach that like we saw from Ender, like where he just explains a lot of the thought processes of Riot going into like champion design and like how they how they
oh yeah, let me open that again.
Yeah, perceive
go
like
ahead.
the perfect way to design. I feel like it's super flawed. So I mean, I guess Degon can start us off on this.
Yeah, and to be clear, Ender is a contracted talent of the LEC, is not a red badge Riot employee, and the difference there is that you have a little bit more leeway to speak on the expertise of those things. So I think this is Ender. With his opinions here. It's sad seeing people bash on the champ design every new release. The champion team creates a champion that is fresh, rewarding to play as and against. The balance team has to get it close to balance before release, knowing that its win rate will increase around 10% over the first patch. Champions will be released overpowered because people associated fun with winning. If your champion releases at 35% win rate, even if that is a long-term balance, when you look at or you're looking at a mastery curve, that champion's play rate will never recover.
I want to stop there. Like,
yeah, I want to stop right there. If people associate fun with winning, why do they play Zed, Yasuo, and LeBlanc in silver and gold?
Okay, the Annie argument's coming in.
Oh, no, dude.
LS came prepared. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is just like, I would love to see the stats on this because like, so Yasuo is like one of the champions that was released 35% win rate, right? Yasuo is like terrible on release. So like, is Yasuo just not a popular champion? Like, what are the stats on Yasuo? I always consider Yasuo.
He's the most popular.
So he's the most popular champion, but he started at 35% win rate. So doesn't that directly contradict what he's saying here? Where like a lot of people really enjoy playing Yasuo and he had terrible win rate. So other champions I'm thinking of off the top of my head, I know Bard had a really absurdly low win rate when it was released. Like no one wanted to play the champion. It looked really, really terrible. And then I feel like that has become one of the more popular supports. Like, yeah, I mean, it just
Lilia is a good example.
Mhm.
Very low win rate on release, and then not really anything happened, but she rose high.
Yep.
I don't know. I like the thing that I don't like that his tweets don't take into account is the champion's kit. There is a very big difference if Set has 40% versus Lilia, because their kits are designed to do different things. When you have a Juggernaut that is literally like you fall asleep at the keyboard and you should still be able to lane, but you can't, there's a problem. Like when the kit is so simple. But when you have to like go out of your way to do fancy shit, well, okay, now it's more understandable that the champion's at 40%. And if they are at 40%, whereas simplified Juggernauts right out the gate are at 40%, it might suggest the champion is actually strong and that there is that curve.
I just think that it's also kind of problematic. So now what we're learning is that Riot is intentionally releasing the champions like really, really overpowered in order to like allow people to have more fun and like sell the champion more. I guess that's like the notion there, right? It's like, so pretty much what he's saying is like they have to release them overpowered or else no one's going to play it. And if no one plays it, then the champion will never recover, which I don't agree with that premise. But even regardless of what the premise is, the fact that they do intentionally release overpowered champions, like I feel like that's just kind of like a wrong approach, because if you release it super overpowered and then you have to hotfix it like one day in, so you're kind of like baiting everyone to buy this champion because you're like, oh, look at how OP it is, and then like everyone buys it the first day, and then you're like, ha, hotfix, bitch, like now it's just worthless. Or like it's probably not worthless. It's probably still pretty strong. But
that's literally what Blastoise is saying right here.
What did he say?
He said the best argument for erring on launching champions on the stronger side is that it gives you an initial higher play rate, which subsequently lets you balance and nerf it more confidently. Then launching it with the lower win rate, less initial play rate, and then having less data to confidently increase it or buff it. He said that was the best argument that was made. So again, yeah, he said the best argument for erring on launching champions on the stronger side. I read it as
So one of the things I didn't like about Ender's comment, right, is he said that the playtest team does a lot of stuff, right? And I remember talking with Riot when Yone was on PBE, because from 2 days of playing PBE, me, Tempest, like a lot of players found stuff that the playtest team didn't find on Yone. So what's going on? What are they actually doing? And then how is this actually referenced as something that's supposed to give credibility or trustability on this topic? Because when you have a champion shipped to PBE and then almost ready to go live, and people in the player base are finding things on it that the quote-unquote playtest team did not find 8, 10 months, 12 months of playing the champion, something's wrong. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Also, there was like contradicting like posts, like somebody... I think it was somebody in one of these threads found like a post where Riot said that they were no longer intentionally releasing overpowered champions, that they were like actually trying to release champions at a balanced state instead. So like I don't even know if this is true or like how Ender got this information. So it's just really strange to me, because it feels like a lot of the things are contradicting themselves here. Like it's okay for them to like release it OP and made a mistake, but then why are they so like aggressively defending what they did?
Yeah, I think it's difficult to kind of take. It depends when that claim was made that they're no longer trying to release champions that are
like 3 months ago, apparently.
Was it 3 months ago? Then I can't defend that, dude. Like it is ever evolving, but like I think it's just a mess up, and you know, right is.
I mean, it might have blundered.
We got it wrong,
though, right?
You know,
Lilia is like considered so here's the thing, right? The last couple of releases that have come out, there's not been a whole lot of hype, Samira is obviously causing hype because she's broken, right? Mm-hmm. But before she dropped, there was nothing. No one was talking about her. No one cared. And Yone is fucking not allowed at Worlds because fuck all. No one knows why. And Lilia, I don't know. So I could understand if there was a pivot, where they're like, hey, these champions, huh?
Yone was hype though.
Yone was hype. Yone is the only one. Lilia got shadowed. Samira is only getting hype right now because she's Aphelios' daughter. And yeah, I don't know.
Who's the champion before Yone? Was it Aphelios?
It was Lilia. Lilia was right before.
Hey, that's my fucking
Sorry. Before Lilia. But yes, you're right. Lilia was underwhelming.
Before Lilia, what? Set, right? Set.
Is it really? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. We released it on
Long
Twitch
time ago.
Rivals.
Yeah.
We did Set and Aphelios like back to back on Twitch Rivals, and I was like, they released like two like one after the other, and then there was nothing like all year. Oh, they did the Fiddlesticks and the Volley Bear rework. That's fair.
That's true.
Play her now while she's still broken. And
she got hotfixed, but she's probably like
still broken.
I mean, the hotfix was like such an insanely big hotfix that it's like, how far did you miss the mark on the champion? 70 base HP level 1 was a hotfix. Like how insane is that? 70 base HP. Like
that's like
what? That's-
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make. So this is the big question for me. What are these playtesters doing? If we're citing that they have masters and challengers, how do they actually go through fucking laning phases and think, you know what, this is normal? This feels okay. This is right. That never happens. If you watch analysis with any high-level players that actually do 1v1s against each other, they will openly criticize when they think something should be possible or when they think that it shouldn't be possible, or when something doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? And if you run that 50 times over, you're going to eventually reach a conclusion where something either just isn't quite hitting the mark or something feels too oppressive. So I don't know how the fuck they go through their testing. It doesn't make any sense, because how consistently do champions hit PBE? Things are either not discovered or get discovered later, and then on top of that, the numbers just are fucking, they're all over the place. It doesn't make any sense.
There's a couple things that might happen. Maybe they just don't have enough playtesters, and like they're just not like able to actually run enough trials to develop enough data to actually like, you know, make the like adjustments necessary to the champion. I think that's one thing. And then another thing that I don't actually know if this happened. This is not verifiable, but something that people were criticizing, or like some information that apparently came out, was that the playtesters were just like really like obsessed with one build. Like, so they just thought that the way that everyone was going to play Samira was like building Death Dance first. And then all the playtesters kind of got locked into that like one train of thought. And they didn't realize like how OP the ult was going to be just with a normal build. So when people started like actually building differently than what they playtested, it wasn't like oh, this has a weak lane phase and then it just ends up being super strong later on. It was like oh no, this champion is just busted from the get-go, building the same items at the like when we back on a BF sword, the other guy backs on a BF sword, we're still stronger. Like there's that whole issue. And then yeah, I mean, I think that that's just one thing that might need to happen, is like people just need to like be more separate in terms of like, sure, they can like playtest, but I feel like maybe there should be less interaction between the people playtesting, so that everyone kind of comes up with like their own thoughts and they go through it together, instead of like, I don't obviously know the process, like maybe they do this, but I feel like one thing that happens, and like one of the reasons that I'm like going into this line of reasoning is like I did a lot of escape rooms before, and when you do like escape rooms with people that are like really, really good at them, one of the things that you do is you try to not mix your information with what the other person has, because you could like lead them on the long path and you might influence the way that they're thinking. So if you're not able to complete a task, like let's say you haven't been able to complete a task, normally you'll do it in like groups of two, or you'll focus on it, and then if you don't understand it, you let another group of two try the task and you try something else, and you don't tell them what you were doing. You don't tell them, hey, I think that the way it works is like you try to follow this line of reasoning. You try to make sure that they come into it with a fresh mindset, so that they're able to like apply whatever makes sense to them. So yeah, I think that maybe that there could be some like information sharing and things like that that could like lead to, you know, similar lines of reasoning.